Hey crew. Um, it's Mika. I just wanted to come on here and just talk to you guys. And I'm in my feelings today, so let's just start there. I'm in my feelings, okay? And I wanted to talk about discrimination, but not how you think about it. I want to talk about discrimination. Now, crew. Now, the crew was all tall girls doing their things, living life, looking great, living out tall. Anyway, just made that up. But I wanted to talk about, have you ever felt discriminated on because of your size, because of your height? Let me tell you where I'm going. I was in a car accident. Um, it's knocking on 2 years now. It was back in 2019. It was June 2019. I was in the DMV area, and I was on the highway. I was in Virginia, and we were in a traffic jam. This car did not stop, like not a pause, not a skid mark. Like she didn't even pretend to push the brake, and she hit a car. They hit a car. They hit me. Okay, so when I tell you, I had to take some days off. My knees were killing me. Everything. She was at fault right from the beginning, right? But this is where the insurance agent just got cussed out. After we settled and everything, just recently. It's been about 2 years. But anywho, so the problem is I complained about my knees hitting the dashboard, and the doing that caused me an issue with walking, or my knees are swollen, and I hit the dashboard. I'm 6'2", so the comments from the insurance adjuster, and of course that's his job, is to protect his client. I understand that piece. However, it wasn't just him, it was my doctors as well, stating that it is impossible, basically, the summary of all this, it's impossible. Ooh, my hair looking a mess, sorry. But it's impossible to hit the your knees on the dashboard of the car. I was driving, well, I was the passenger, my husband was driving, and we were in a Nissan Armada, which is a large vehicle. But if you know the newer model, we have an old one, we have the new one as well. But the newer model, like it's shaped really weird, so my knee literally is parallel to the dashboard. I hit the dashboard with my knee. Couldn't walk for a day or two. Now, I told everybody this, and apparently my doctors didn't write it down. So I didn't believe the insurance adjuster. And I know we're just learning each other. For like a whole 30 seconds, I wanted to be an attorney. So I said, bet this is something for me to research and look into. I had an attorney on it, so don't think I did. I did not, but I did. But I looked through all the medical records, all the time that I went there, and I told them that my knee is killing me after this accident from hitting the dashboard. I looked at the date that I went there right after the accident, all the follow up, all the physical therapies that I went, all pertaining to my knee hitting the dashboard. Guess what, y'all? Crew, listen now. My own doctor never wrote it down. They mentioned my back. I had a back problem as well. They mentioned, like I had a headache or what have you, like the mild stuff. But with my knee hitting the dashboard, day one, my own doctor didn't write it down. So what that meant was all my physical therapy that happened after the fact was all on me. I have insurance. It's not a big deal. But that just said, hold up. Let me explain something. At 6'2", it is impossible not to hit the dashboard with your knee. My knee is it's in line with the dashboard. There's no way that I can get away with that. But I was just really thinking, I was like, that's discrimination, right? Like, listen, you didn't take into consideration that not everyone is average size. The average size woman is what, 5'4", 5'5". I'm 6'2". So whatever standard that you had for what happens to a woman or happens to anyone, at this point I'm taller than the average man too, right? I'm taller than the average person, right? So whatever you use was discriminatory towards me because I don't fit into that normal box. So all this year, 2 years, it was June 2019. So I just settled. And it wasn't about money. It was about, you have inconvenienced me for nearly 2 years. This is what I'm asking for X amount. And I settled for a lot less, a lot less. And it was just, I have an inconvenience. I had to go, early in the morning and do physical therapy. And I had to leave work early to go to, MRIs, and oh my, everything hurts. I'm no longer 20. So, that healing process was different than if I was a lot younger. But I just really thought that's like the definition of what discrimination looks like. I didn't fit into what the norm looked like, and no one took the second to actually say, well, she wouldn't fit into this category because that's not her size. What do we need to accommodate her needs, right? Or accommodate to bring her up to par. So if you just look at the car dimensions and my dimensions, there's no way for me to get around it. But they didn't even put it down after I had told them. So that's what made me mad. But anyway, so I'm like, I can't be the only one. And this is not my first example of feeling like, oh, okay, this is a little bit different. I think I just did my last video. What was it? My last video, yeah, I was talking about being in one of my bestest friend wedding and how that felt different, right? Literally, crew, every day I want to come and talk to you guys, but it's always something like, hey, my hair's not done. I'm looking a little sleepy, I don't feel like putting on lipstick or what have you. But, I actually read a quote that said consistency over perfection. And so it just made me just like, hey, this is who I am. I'm a crew member. Anywho. But anyway, so what are your thoughts? What do you think? What does size discrimination? Now, I can't speak on everything. I understand. I went to grad school with someone that she always mentioned, hey, Tiffany, she always mentioned that we were in the same boat. She was like 4'9", I believe. Tiffany, correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember. 4'9"-ish. She lives out in the Midwest now. We went to grad school in New York City. And like she wore like a size 4 or 5 shoe. And I'm 6'2", and we're friends. And I'm like 12, 13 shoe. And she was like, we are in the same category. And she was the one that taught me. I'm like, you always have options because you can always cut some pants down to your size, or you have kid options. And she always told me, no, that's discriminative because the children's clothes are going to look too juvenile on her as an adult. And cutting down pants will have the seat of the pants down to the knees. So that's not as easy as the rest of the world thinks. And I mean, clearly I have a bias of what our journey on this high water crew thing is, because I still say you got more options than us. Some of these kids' clothes they don't look too juvenile. They look kind of too grown. They look a little grown. I have a 12-year-old, almost 13. So, and I see some of the clothes now in the junior section or the larger kid section, and they look midriffs and booty shorts. And that's not what we doing up in my house. Not in the crew house. No, ma'am. Anyway, so I understand where she's coming from. And I absolutely agree that, the discriminatory, anyone that doesn't fit into that whatever's considered average is going to feel that pinch. But I can only speak on what I know. So, anywho, what are your thoughts? Have you ever thought of like that? You're discriminating. I felt that way also, like when clothes cost a little bit more, if they're longer or if they're bigger or something like that. And I don't want to hear this because it's more material. I don't believe that, because if you know what profit margin looks like, because the undergrad is in marketing, how about that? Anywho, the profit margins versus the clothes costs is not that significantly more. It's just not. And so it's just that we have allowed, or we're so limited on choices now. And I'm so glad that we have so many options of online access now around the globe for clothes or custom clothes. I've had custom dresses made off of Amazon. My wedding dress, before it was even popular, I got my wedding dress from China, y'all. Everybody was like, you were crazy because I got married early 2000s, so it wasn't as popular as it was now. And I was like, I'm getting my dress in China. I went down to Davis Bridal, saw the style that I liked, got online, and this was, I'm sure Amazon was around. I just can't remember using it back then. But there was like some site that you put, you gave all your measure. I'm crazy. Like now that I think about it, giving strangers my address, right? But you put all your dimensions of what you're looking for and dress style, and you send it off, and with $100, that was it. And so I'm like, being me, I'm gonna be extra. I spent 200 because I wanted two dresses. So I'm used to having to do the extra steps in order to get what I need, but I just wish it was different. So what do you guys think? What do you do? I'm gonna try to come in and talk to you guys a little bit more often than I was. Again, I was so stuck on, okay, I'm not wearing makeup on right now. I do have lipstick, and it doesn't look right, but we're gonna do consistent over perfection, and we're gonna get it together, crew. I hope you were well. If you haven't yet, please like, subscribe, share. I'm on YouTube as well as Instagram. I'm on Facebook as well. I'm doing some new branding over there because I had a private group and I had a public group. I'm just gonna have that one public group. Anywho, I'll hear from you soon. Bye.